Are we about to see new all-time highs on Bitcoin? If you guys want the abbreviated version and my personal opinion, the answer is yes. I actually am super bullish here, locally speaking, on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why is that? Well, number one is we have been, you can call it a range, you can call it some sort of triangle, whatever you want to call it. We've been going sideways for about 2 months now, and we've just taken out these lows of the range, and we have seen a pretty nice move up so far. Now, does this move up just because it looks quote unquote nice? Does this indicate that yes, we're going to see new all-time highs? No, it's simply because as well that we have somewhat poor lows, you could say. We have relatively equal highs at the top of where the all-time high is. We do not have a major swing high formed. We still have liquidity built up. We don't have proper swing highs built up, and we have taken out the range lows. So I am personally gunning for higher. With that being said, is there an opportunity to enter on a retrace, or do we simply just wait and sit on our hands and just see what happens? If you have been in the Discord, literally ever since we came down to these range lows, I've been spamming it in the chat saying, I'm bullish, I'm bullish, I am bullish here. Until we lose the area between 59 to 58K, I am bullish. That's literally all I've been saying while we were down here consolidating around these lows on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you guys watched the public stream as well, I even said that I would be expecting Bitcoin to come down and take out these lows that were formed around the 13th of April, whereas Ethereum, I'd be looking for it to essentially not take out these lows. So I even gave it out publicly, and I said that I do not want to see Ethereum take out the lows, and I would be looking for a long, where we would come down to the OTE area, and then see as long as this low holds, I'd be bullish. And that's exactly what happened. We held the low, we remained bullish. So nothing has been invalidated. So far, everything is still going according to plan. We took out these range lows here into the OTE. We held this low, which I made super, clear that this is key. And we are going up high. Where can we, if you are not in any position, and you kind of like stayed sidelined, where can you enter? Well, let's go over that. Let's go over what our potential entry points are on these trades. So keep in mind, the current bias that I hold is bullish. So that means that although I might believe that there could be a retrace to support level, that does not mean I'm looking to go short, because that is a high risk play and against the trend. So instead, I'll simply just mark out the support levels and wait until they get hit. So where are these support levels? Well, number one, I typically like to look at where any sort of liquidity on the daily level is. So, and typically that might be any sort of, common pattern where people might trail their stop losses up. So if you look at the daily candles, you'll see that we have low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So that means if anyone has been long, there could be potential where they just trail their stop losses at these lows and simply, say to themselves, okay, I'll wait. I'll put my stop loss at these lows because then that'll confirm a trend change. When in reality, we are gunning for those stop losses. So I would typically highlight the sort of start of where these series of higher lows begun over here. And then because we don't have too much price action to go off, I'll go in the lower time frame just to see if we can get some more clarity in what's going on. And you can see immediately right below these lows, what do we have? We have a really, really nice down close section over here acting as some sort of order block. So we can essentially just highlight this area here. I like to, you can refine this, down to the lower time frames. You can get it super accurate to the dollar level, whatever. I personally don't care. I'm not that kind of trader. I'm not looking for the exact $200 levels. I'm just looking for a general area where if it holds, it holds. That's it. Because you do not want to be going, crazy with the leverage. You want to be comfortable entering trades. You want to be comfortable with the entry point and not panic about missing it or about getting stopped out. So this for me is a nice even area to look for a trade. I just want to start confirming this order block by going down to the lower time frames and seeing if everything looks nice. Okay. Typically what I like to see as well is if an order block lines up with a high area of volume. So what you can do is simply from the start here of when we made this low, like this, pull your volume profile, and you can see that literally perfectly we have a nice point of control down here at this order block at around right below $3,100. So for me, this is a nice level to be looking at. Let's say I want to take this long. How would I personally be planning it? I'll be looking at something like this. I would say this is also going to depend on your risk tolerance. Now, you're going to be looking at this and say, why are you looking for a 5% potential loss? Because number one, I always see the potential when it comes to an order block, especially when it comes to a high level of liquidity over here, $3,000. There is the potential where you could see something like this, coming down to 3K, coming down below these lows over here, and then seeing some sort of move up after. So rather than being super, tight with my stop loss, I'm going to be a bit more, I guess, lenient. I forget if that's the word. Apologies, I'm still having my coffee. And the reason why I would be looking for this high risk over here is because number one, the reward is also going to be slightly higher over here. I'm personally on this trade going to be looking for new highs on Ethereum. What do I mean by new highs? I don't even mean these ones over here. I literally just mean potentially all the way up to $4,000, all the way up to potentially even all-time highs to $5,000. So this for me is going to be a pretty massive swing trade. And that is why I'm comfortable with this risk over here. And you might be saying to yourself, well, how would you decide, or how would you even know how to take profits on this if you're looking for new all-time highs? Let's break that down. Let's say you want to enter this trade here, and let's say it goes our way, where you have this idea that's going to go to new all-time highs, potentially to $5,000. Where would you decide to take your profits? Number one is the most local high that we made before the retrace down is typically always a nice. I'm actually going to highlight it like this, horizontal tool, all across the chart, just so it's more clear. This would typically be your TP1 over here. Once this TP1 is secured, you then set your stop loss to entry at that point, okay? So enter, take profit one off the table. Now, the only thing I would start looking for at this point is any next major resistance or liquidity areas. So let's just find those really quickly. And typically I like to start with volume. So this would be your second area. This high volume point of control zone would be your TP2 over here. So we can mark this out as T profit 2. The next would be some sort of massive point of liquidity. I wouldn't really count this as a point of liquidity. Why? Because this move took out liquidity of these highs. It's not a liquidity high. It's a high that took out liquidity. So there's no liquidity here because it took out liquidity of these highs here, if that makes sense. So instead of just constantly marking out next resistance levels, I would say the best thing to do at this point is simply marking out liquidity zones. So for example, $4,000 is a psychological number. That's where I would put my next take profit as well on here. So take profit 3 over here. And then honestly, I would just let the rest run for all-time highs up here. And that would be your final TP zone here. So that's how it's split it up. You want to be pretty quick, relatively quick with your take profits here early on, because this is going to be a very massive deciding factor on the momentum of the move. Once this take profit 1 is hit, stop loss goes to entry, and then you simply just let it ride. You can preset these take profits on your derivatives app or whatever you're using, and then simply let the rest run to wherever your heart desires, essentially. So I hope this is clear. I hope my trading plan is super, super concise and easy to follow, because that's, what I take pride in, at least. And if you guys enjoy this, please make sure to, leave a like, leave a comment. And if you guys are interested in joining the group, then be sure to check out the links in the description. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.